Boys and girls, not that long ago I made this cabinet, this display cabinet for this picture holder that my old man made, when I was a kid, 60 or so years ago, give or take an hour or two. I made it because since the passing of Mum, I've been holding on to it and it's just been gathering dust. Over the last year or so I put some Glad wrap over it just to keep the dust off, but then you couldn't see it. So I finished up making this cabinet out of Perspex. However, well, Perspex, we'll leave it at that for the moment. I take this off and show you the item. It's actually a picture holder that the old man made, believe it or not. Hang on, I'll give you a bit of a zoom up so you can appreciate the intricacy of it. If you have a look at those roses, I mean, hell, they are, hang on, I might even take the camera away and bring it up close. If you have a look at the roses under there, whoops, going in too far, under there, that straw, all that braiding or plaiting or whatever you call it, roses, leaves, and that cute little bloody Adonis happens to be me. And try not to look at the hairpin in the hair. But anyway, believe it or not, this is actually made out of bread. I remember the days Mum and I used to sit around the kitchen table chewing and spitting out bread while the old man was sitting back complacently drinking his vino and mixing up the paint to mix with the chewed up bread. Anyway, hang on, I'll put the camera back. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this little unit. It's got an old bit of wood that we pinched from Bonagilla somewhere back in 1950, 57, 58, after we came out, after the Hungarian Revolution. It's starting to crack, so it is showing its age. I don't know whether, how well the camera will pick that up. I don't want to move this. I'll put this away before I do any damage to it. It's, well, actually quite solid, but I reckon it could be brittle. But honestly, look, I've got to have a look how well you can see those roses. And again, here we go. You might see the cracks there, but it is. The picture frame is coming to pieces. Actually, the photos held up. I mean, the photos held up well. Anyway, well, that kid's got a bit older. I'll put this aside, and I'll also put the Perspex aside so I don't knock it, because I have this gold badge of clumsiness. Anyway, I made this thing, and what I wanted to do is, so you can look at it, put it onto a Lazy Susan. So I'm going to try and devise a Lazy Susan and maybe go through some of the equipment or the tools I've been bragging about in the past. Okay, put that aside. Now, where are we? Here we are. Again, you're going to be the first to see it. I had a choice of a couple of Lazy Susans, whether to go this style or this other style. It turned out this one suited the project better. Now what I've done, and you'll be the first to see this, so either it works or it doesn't bloody work. I cut out a couple of a couple of circles on the laser. The intention is, I've got this bit of MDF circle that I cut that I'll probably trim down as the base of the Lazy Susan. Hopefully once trimmed down, that's going to sit on there. With a bit of luck, I don't know where this is going to fit, but shit, it doesn't, which really means that I've got to make this bigger. I measured this to be 120, 250, 230 mil, and it lied to me. It's more than 230. So I shall now go and cut another circle, which is a bit of a bugger because I've wasted all that. However, having said that, hopefully this inner circle is designed to sit in there like that, so I can then position the Lazy Susan through these 5mm holes, which will go into further. I can centre it and then place the screws. Okay, back to the drawing board. I've got to cut another rim. Anyway, the whole idea of that is, that rim, is to actually hide the Lazy Susan to some degree. And again, we'll see what happens. So I've got to now make another rim. Okay, back to this rim problem. That is advertised as a bloody 230mm rim. That is cut at exactly 230mm. This system that I set up with the puff job is supposed to have everything 90 degrees and all that. This is, I know, a 90-degree block. So I'm guessing that everything here is proper 90 degrees. Well, I get out the trusty tape measure, measure it, and it turns out the bloody thing, the gap there, is 230, 231 and a half, close to 230, well, no, sorry, 232 mil. No wonder the bloody thing didn't fit. Looks like I've got to get back to the drawing board now and see what we do. What I've also done is I did need a 240 mil diameter because of where I put it. I made this 241 so I can actually sand off the char mark and tidy up the circle that I cut, but I might make it 242 diameter, so I can take probably about an inch or no, 1 mil off. Well, anyway, we'll see. I'm not sure about how I'll go. 1 mil is too much, 5 mil, don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, back to the drawing board. Looks like I've got to cut that bloody thing out at 232. Okay, boys and girls, back again. I did check it this time. I didn't want to just try it and waste film. One of the other things I did do is I printed off this, or cut out this template, so I can then set up my radius cutting jig. Effectively, that's supposed to be 241 degrees radius, diameter. So what I've actually done, from the center, which is supposed to be the pivot pin, the center of that to the outside perimeter of that hole there, which hopefully, if I remember correctly, I'm using a 1/4 inch router bit. I'll be buggered if I use 6 mil, I'll have to redo it again, but from the center of that to the outer rim of that, it's 120.5. Hopefully, with my calculator, that sort of makes it about 241 mil diameter. Okay, let's get on to the next stage. That now is not worth a pinch of shit. So that is the rubbish bin, because there's not much more I can cut out of that. The circle there, I suppose I can use for cutting something out of it. Okay, now I'll go and set up the cutting jig. This is my circle cutting jig. Fortunately, these little pins, I've roughly lined that pin up. It'll fit into the dog hole so I can get it going. I have measured the router bits, a down spiral, rough spiral, damned if I know, it's a spiral bit. It's a 1/4 inch, so let's see how this goes. Now that goes in there like so. Let's lock it off. Turn it upside down. Hang on, let's not lock it off. Let's give it some depth for the router bit. Now again, I hope you guys can see this in the viewfinder. Yeah, you can just see it. So this is where that little doovie comes in. That fits over the router bit, quite a snug little fit. This, now let's loosen that up, fits over that 5mm bit. Let's be a little bit more generous. Hang on, which way do we give more? We pull it back this way. Hang on, let's see. That way you'll give it that 1/4 mil more. Tighten that up. Now theoretically that should be set to what we need. Now what I will do is I will make a test cut to make sure I have got it set. So bear with me, I'll set something up and come back. I tried to shoot this before, but I stuffed up. The bloody battery was out of juice, so I've got to go through and see if I can remember all the bullshit I did before. I thought I'll try it on this new Sysvac, because I've got it, why not use it? So let's try this again, clear everything out of the way. I've positioned the Sysvac, turned it on, moved it to this spot. I'll lock it in, locked. I actually drilled a hole for the circle cutter there, but I went all the bloody way through, and that's not going to hold too well in a vacuum clamp, so I tried it on the other end. Centre it as much as possible, hold. I probably could put the other one on to steady it, but for the exercise, bugger it. Got the router, mounted it to the circle cutter. Of course, you saw it before, what am I talking about? Battery. It's working, there you are, it just goes to show it works. Now, what I've got to do is get some air. Because it's not connected to a power tool, I've got this set up on manual, and for that I've had to use the remote control. That's on. Let's see what happens. Let's turn the vacuum off, and now let's get some measuring sticks and see what we've got. That should be 240. Well, Jesus, no, bugger it, you'll have to take my word for it. I'm not going to zoom the camera in. That's exactly 240, actually it looks closer to 242. A bit over 241. That's good enough for me, which means it's ready for the Big Daddy. So what I'd have to do, release that. Actually, Alexa, turn Sysvac off. No, bugger you. I'm not going to waste my time there. I've turned. Shut up! I've turned it off manually. Now, let's replace this.
You've disabled Smart TV remote in the past. Do you want to...
Shut up! Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, here's Smart TV remote.
Replace that. Oh, it's getting as bad as a wife. Okay, let's put this unit back on. make sure it's properly seated. Done. And I'll tighten this up. Now what I'm going to do, hopefully, is use this as a base plate, and somewhere I had a circle. God, hang on, I'll go and get it. I've got my sysvac on, and I'm going to mount, hopefully, this piece to that. Now what I'll do is I'll use my way of mounting double-sided tape, which is you leave a little bit of the backing strip on and you rip off away from the backing strip, and that's why when you peel up you've got the backing strip. The only problem is you've got to try and remember where the hell the backing strip stops and the tape starts. Like I've misaligned it there, but you can quite easily try and remember where it was and then go back and grab some more. Now it's about there, so I'll get rid of that. Okay, now let's see if that beast sticks. I tried this before and it didn't stick. Now probably because it wasn't smooth enough, I've sanded it just lightly to get rid of the bits, and there you are. It's sticking quite well. Okay, so let's set up the circle cutter. I'll bring it down a bit. So what are we looking at depth wise? We're looking at about 1 and a bit. Okay, so air. Turn it on. Plunge it a bit. Turn it off. Jesus, that's a bit of a smoke, but then again that's because I wasn't moving it. Let's try that again. I hope I didn't go down to... oh shit, that's why it's smoke. Look how far I've gone down. That's crazy. Yeah, that's better. Jesus, this will be interesting to see whether this will still work or not. In the hole, in there. Turn it on. Dust extraction. Everything not working. Okay, right. Twist that around. That off. Now let's see if I can lower this by just a few mil. That'll do. That back in. can see, Jesus Christ, I hope the camera's on. Yeah, as you can see, the only dust I've had so far is, I don't know whether you can see down there or not, but it's bugger all. So, what I should have done, bad design, I should have had this clamp on this side. Yeah. Anyway, too late now. Okay, we remove this. Let's see, what are we looking at? We're looking at just under 2. So if I turn this on and drop it another 2 or 3 more. Oh, that's enough. Don't go overboard. Turn that on. That on. Good God, there's so many things to... Come on, shop back. Now I pushed on the side and it looks as though that bit was moving, so I'd say I've gone through. There's one way to find, Jesus Christ, now make sure that doesn't do a plunge, because the outside wouldn't have been taped down that strongly. God, I hope I can remove this. I've gone down probably a bit too far, but not too bad at all. Oh, hang on, tighten this up. And now it's just a case of trying to remove the layers. That could be interesting. Now, what the hell can I use to remove the layers? Come on, baby. Think. Here we go. Spatula. Maybe I shouldn't have used so much tape. There we go. There you have it. And I'll tell you what, that's not too shabby, other than that time when I plunged all the way through and burnt the bloody thing. Because as you can see, I plunged all the way through, didn't move it, so I'm not surprised. Now, let's get rid of this shit. Anyway, if nothing else, you've been too bloody lazy to look at the other video I had about double-sided tape. Now you've learned a good way of mounting with double-sided tape. Now this stuff here that I use is super thin, and it's really designed for, well, I get them out of arts and crafts suppliers, because it's only really designed to hold paper together. There you go, and there's life after that. Alexa, turn off Sysvac. Life after death with that can be reused. It can even be reused on that side as well, because as you can see, I haven't gone over it. So there you have it. Now it's going to be a case of, hang on, again I'll move the camera. Shit, you know, sometimes I wish I had things I could use these for, because I mean, shit, it's a cute little ring. Anyway, okay, camera off and we shall see. Personally, I don't like making videos of builds, because hell, you know, who wants to see somebody cut wood? It's a different story if you do something different. And to me, this is a brilliant. Oh look, I can't speak highly enough of this jig. I have got a video somewhere where I've made it. The only bad design, well, not the only bad design, there's probably a lot of bad designs on it, but the main bad design is the fact that I have to loosen this collar here to drop it, and this hose gets in the way. If I put it on the other side, holy shit, what a stupid fool I am. It's a quad screw mount. I could potentially put that over on that side, and because of the way I've actually made this, I can lift everything out. In fact, before I close this video off, after I finish the project, I might just do that and show you guys whether it'll work or not. Oh, how stupid can somebody be? Anyway, enough of that. What can I do? Get this out of the way, and then, and that out of the bloody way. It's alright, you can't see it, but it'll probably hit me on the head. No, I won't put it there because that will hit me on the head. Where can I hang it? Get this out of the way, but I've got to put it somewhere where it won't fall, because I was stuffing around before and I've got this little thing here with all the little bits and pieces sitting there without the bloody lid on. As I was setting that up for a practice run, naturally that went flying, and I spent the next hour and a half looking for all those little brass pieces, and there's a little grub nut in there. One grub nut, you might just, Jesus Christ again, you might just see, well, there were 3 of them in there at one stage. So there you have it. Now, what I need to do, the next step is going to be, and I probably don't know how much I'll show you, but glue that on the perimeter. Now hopefully what's going to happen is that, where's a larger, this will be a larger thing, it'll turn, but it covers most of the what do you call it, Lazy Susan. Now what I have got, I think I mentioned it to you before. Where the hell is it? As always, totally organised. I've got so many circles around and I'm running around in them. Anyway, I've got it somewhere for centering that. Now what I'll probably do is, once I glue this on and the glue dries, I'll take this over to my disc sander, and although it's a bloody good circle, it doesn't need to be cleaned up, but I might just gently go around it and see if I can take off that char mark. Although, having said that, I'm a fucking idiot. Why the hell do I want to take off the char mark? Because this, I'm going to paint black anyway. Only because it's going to be sitting on a black cabinet, and it's really got, the Lazy Susan's got really nothing to do with this other than it spins around on it. So, okay, looks like you won't be watching me sand this, because I think I would have had to have set up my lathe disc sander. Look, I might still have to if I don't get this right, and in fact I don't know, but the next step is going to be mount the Lazy Susan, which is going to be a pain in the ass because that's got to be mounted. That's got to be mounted, and the bloody bread thingamajig is screwed in under this. onto this base, so if I move it around it doesn't slide around in there. So I've got to somehow work out how to screw that on and then mount the Lazy Susan to this, because if I mount the Lazy Susan to it I won't be able to screw the other thing on. So holy shit, this is going to be interesting. Anyway, that's my problem, not yours. Your problem is going and getting a drink while you're waiting for the rest of the movie to continue. Catch you later. Well, in the movie. Hey, for all it's worth, while the glue's drying and I'm trying to unstick my fingers, these little tubes of glue are worth their weight in gold. They pick them, well, I pick them up. They're $2 for $2 per pack of 7 in these $2 shops. Now bear in mind that that's Australian, so in Yankee land or Europe and all that, it's probably nearly half the price. They're great because you can waste it as much as you like and then just toss the bloody thing out before all the tips get congealed and shit. It's good because it sticks just as well to my fingers and sticks my fingers together as much as those bloody expensive stuff. But anyway, there you have it. Usually once opened I use it and toss it, but I tend to use it as a one-off. But if you go in, as I said, into your $2 shops, they're there. Oh Christ. I sort of stuffed up the glue up, so I might have to trim this up a little bit on the sander. But anyway, that's my problem. Well, this is a great little unit. It's a pain in the ass to set up. This is my lathe sanding disc. I've moved that little 5mm pin into this T-track from my circle cutter. For those that haven't seen it, this is mounted down onto this milling table by Mag Switches. This is a disc shroud cut on the laser. There's a dust port down the bottom, 45 degrees, that collects a hell of a lot of the dust. That covers it up. This is the disc. Sit it on there. Turn the lathe on. I might slow it down just a tad. And then we'll see what happens. Slowly feed this in. I'll bring it this way a bit to get onto a spot that hasn't been used. Some of that is probably on the, as you can see, on the on the circle that I cut. So hopefully this will clean everything up and smooth up the edges. Well, advance it another little bit. Well, actually might help if you advance it the right way, you idiot, instead of taking it away. Oh, dust extraction, no wonder I'm fucking choking. Oops, wrong duster. Right, here we go. That's a bit better. probably should put my trend head shield on. There you are, that's it. Now, let's just hope I moved it in the right way. I'll take this off just in case I do some damage, and take out the look, it hasn't picked up 100%, but it's picked up most, and I shall got my cleaner and I might give that a bit of a clean. No, that's not going to be much good without the dust extraction in. There. There you have it. And for those that want to know how the dust extraction works, there should be a video somewhere floating around that showed how I set this up. And if not else, all your lumberjack fanatics can go and check this unit out on Lumberjacks. Why is that rocking? Shouldn't be rocking like that. But doesn't matter. Okay guys, I've got what I wanted. Now it's a case of I might round this off, paint it black, stain it black, varnish it, which again I see no reason why the hell you need to see that. And while I'm doing that, I might hit that circle cutter, put all this shit back into place, so and hope I don't have to repeat this, because then I'll have to take all this shit back out again. Okay, and as I always say, for you it's going to be in another 2 or 3 seconds. Me, it's going to be maybe a couple of days time before we continue with the video. Oh well, while we're here I might as well get this in. Now you'll appreciate why I hate build videos, because Jesus, I ramble on when I'm not building, but when I get building I get worse. Okay, let's move this out here. Only because, and am I still in the viewfinder? Just. Only because I can get my dust extraction hose into the back of this. This is just a Ryobi cordless drill that I've 3D printed a shroud around it to catch the dust. All I'm going to do, I won't do the top edge there, I might just use sandpaper, but from the bottom edge I'll round it over, and I've got I think a 1/8 or 3/32 radius bit in there. So let's, well, you won't hear me speak, but you hear a lot of noise and you see some action. Let's turn this on. Dusty. No, it hasn't got 2 circumferences, but I occasionally overbalanced and I didn't catch all the edges. But there you are, it's nice and round. Look, I'll be honest with you, I might even ease up the edges with hell, Here I am yakking away in the background, you can't see a bloody thing. Ease up the edges with some sandpaper. Where is my little 180, 120, come on. Here we are, this type of shit. I love this sandpaper, sanding pads. They contour well, they fit around everything. They're not that hard ridge. If I want hard, I'll use one of these things, which I'll probably use around the edge there. But this just clears up some of the, whatever it clears up, who knows, who cares. But there you have it. And again, with I'd use probably 240, just very lightly around the edge. I'm using this because this is actually hard, so it's going to break it down better than the other one. But again, it's more, you won't see this. This will be pretty well hidden. It's just so, I don't know why the hell I'm doing it. I just hate sharp edges. I don't like getting rid of the edge. I like crisp edges, but not that crisp. Anyway, okay, this is now ready to be stained. Where the hell is it? There. Lazy Susan attached, and then through holes in there and magic of video, hopefully we'll get the base onto it. Okay, again, catch you later on in the video. While waiting for the stain to dry, I thought, bugger it, I might as well pull this apart and twist that around then. Looks like I wasn't dumb as I thought I was when I first designed it or built it. The reason why that handle's there is this is where, through there, is where all the dust extraction is. And if I moved it around to the other side, I don't think it'd be anywhere near as efficient. And look, I handled that last exercise reasonably well. I don't think it's a showstopper, so I might just leave it there, because at the moment one of the things I love about it is its dust extraction, and I really think moving this would jeopardize the efficiency of it. Okay, so for you, soon it's happening. Me, I've got to get back to waiting for the stain to dry. Oh, short uru, that's why. Yeah.